Imagine waking up tomorrow and the internet is gone. Every website, every app, every digital connection utterly wiped out. A permanent global blackout that plunged civilization back to the dark ages of information. Sounds like a sci-fi nightmare, right? But what if I told you for one terrifying day that almost became our reality? A day when the very fabric of our digital world was stretched to its breaking point, threatening to snap, leaving billions adrift in a sea of technological silence. How close did we come to losing everything we've built online? And what was the secret error that nearly pulled the plug on the entire world? To understand this terrifying near miss, we need to first grasp just how interconnected and, paradoxically, how fragile our digital world truly is. We often think of the internet as this ethereal, indestructible cloud, but in reality it's a vast, intricate network of physical cables, routers, and servers spanning oceans and continent. Every Google search, every Instagram scroll, every YouTube video you watch travels through a complex web of infrastructure, much of it housed in anonymous air-conditioned data centers or buried deep underground. This intricate web relies on a constant, perfect dance of information, governed by protocols that are surprisingly old and, in some cases, surprisingly vulnerable. We're talking about foundational pieces of the internet that haven't changed much since its early days. Now picture this. It's the early 2000s, a time when the internet was still finding its feet, but was already deeply integrated into global commerce and communication. Companies were just beginning to realize the internet's true potential, but few fully understood its hidden frailties. It's hard to imagine now, but there was a period when the collective consciousness of the internet's fragility was not nearly as acute as it is today. And it was this lack of awareness, coupled with a seemingly minor administrative change, that set the stage for digital Armageddon. The year was 2004, a seemingly unremarkable Tuesday in October. In a small, nondescript office in Reston, Virginia, a technical team at an internet service provider, responsible for a significant portion of internet traffic, was performing routine maintenance. They were supposed to roll out a minor software update, a patch designed to, ironically, improve network stability. What they didn't know was that buried deep within the update's code was a tiny, insidious flaw, a single misplaced character, a digital typo that would almost bring the entire global network to a grinding halt. As the update propagated across their vast network, the typo began to wreak havoc. It corrupted routing tables, those digital signposts that tell data packets where to go. Servers, confused and overwhelmed, started misdirecting traffic, creating digital dead ends. Instead of information flowing smoothly, it began to back up, bottlenecking in critical junctions. Initially, it was just minor slowdowns, a bit of lag. People shrugged, blamed their own internet connection. But then the slowdowns turned into outages, first in isolated regions, then entire cities. Websites became inaccessible, emails bounced, instant messages failed to deliver. It wasn't just a local problem, it was a domino effect, cascading through the internet's interconnected nervous system. The situation was escalating rapidly, and the engineers in Reston were completely baffled. Their monitoring systems were screaming red, but the cause remained elusive, hidden beneath layers of complex code. The ticking clock was against them, and with every passing minute, more and more of the internet was simply vanishing. As the hours slipped by, the situation became critical. Major backbone providers, the superhighways of the internet, started reporting unprecedented levels of traffic congestion and outright disconnection. Entire nations began to experience significant internet disruptions. Financial markets wavered as trading platforms went dark. Emergency services struggled to communicate. Imagine the panic. Hospitals unable to access patient records, airlines unable to process bookings, governments losing crucial digital links. News organizations, ironically, couldn't upload their stories about the unfolding crisis. It felt like the digital world was experiencing a massive heart attack, and no one knew how to administer CPR. Engineers, sleep-deprived and frantic, worked tirelessly, sifting through millions of lines of code, trying to pinpoint the source of the meltdown. They knew they were hunting for a ghost, a single minuscule error that had ballooned into a catastrophe. The pressure was immense. The alternative was unthinkable. The internet, as we knew it, really was on the precipice of non-existence. They finally identified the culprit. Not a sophisticated cyber attack, not a solar flare, but a simple human error in a software update. A single character in a configuration file, misread by the system, triggered a chain reaction that crippled a substantial portion of the world's digital infrastructure. It was an almost comical cause for such a terrifying outcome. After an agonizing 24 hours of global digital chaos, they managed to roll back the faulty update. Slowly, painstakingly, the internet began to breathe again. Connections were re-established, websites came back online, and the digital world collectively exhaled. To this day, the 2004 internet outage is a stark reminder of the delicate balance upon which our digital lives are built. It wasn't a hacker or a natural disaster, but a simple mistake that nearly extinguished the light of the internet for untold millions. While measures have been put in place to prevent such a wide-scale failure from the same cause, the lessons are clear. Our reliance on digital infrastructure grows every single day, and with it, the potential for unforeseen vulnerabilities. This incident wasn't isolated. Smaller yet significant outages continue to occur, reminding us that the internet, for all its power and ubiquity, remains a complex human-made system, prone to human error and unexpected pressures. The next time you effortlessly stream a video, send an email, or scroll through social media, spare a thought for the digital guardians behind the scenes. Because one day, without warning, the internet could still come incredibly close to disappearing, and the world would be faced with a silence more profound than any we have ever known. If you're fascinated by the hidden vulnerabilities of our modern world, you won't want to miss our next video, where we explore the real-life dangers of a global GPS blackout and how close we've come to losing our way entirely.